Hey, I'm Nance from Total Board Games. Welcome back in the Board Game Cave. Today I'm going to show you the game Rum And Bones by cmon, launched on Kickstarter in 2015. And we'll make the total review of this game, starting with the unboxing. Then I will show you how to customize the game. And finally, we'll see the main features, the setup, and how to play the game. Now let's looking at the Rum And Bones box. As you can see, the box is full of color. Very nice looking. Rum And Bones is a miniatures board game where players control pirate crews engaged in combat. Inspired by MOBA-style video games, Rum And Bones gameplay is deep, fast-paced, and highly strategic. Now let's slide the top off. The game pits two pirate factions controlled by 2 to 6 players whose ships are locked in combat, each crew attempting to board their enemy ships and disable it. We get the rulebook. As usual with Call Me or Not, you have a full color of everything throughout at the rulebook, great layout, and of course at the back, one-page rule summary, so you can get a quick how to play right off the back. Next we have a punch board with the dex features. So you can see samples here. We also get coins. Right quality. And we get the decks. Like that. On the next punch boards we get the Kraken, the bridges, and worn counters. On this punch board we get other coins with double side. And a nice quality. Here we have a plastic tray with the cards and the plastic dices. Here we get the player cards and the type cards per factions. The player cards are bigger. And the dices are nice classical 8 black plastic dices. Let's looking at the type cards per factions. So here you get samples. Now let's looking at the hero cards. It looks like that. Very detailed. And the back is great. With different tones. Here we got the 2 boxes of miniatures. So little box here is actually your heroes. Even on the box we get the logo, it's pretty nice, very cool feature. Pull it out. We got a double-decker tray. And we get these plastic miniatures for the heroes. We get 5 here. And 5 also on the second tray. We also get the plastic bases with 2 sizes and 2 colors. Next we have the big size box. With both bosses and deckhands for both factions. And as you'll see, unlike the heroes, these guys are actually color coded. Here, Bones' device are aqua blue. On the second tray, we get deckhands, purples. And finally, they are mixed together in the final tray. We get deckhands and bone device. Well, finally we found 2 trifold chipboards. Now let's look in. It came out perfect. It's huge and well colored. This one is green. It came out easily. Let's look in the second. Here is the Brotherhood boat trifold. Very nice stuff. Very huge. This is it for the unboxing, so now let's look in how you could customize your game. Just before starting, according to me, I think these figurines are more plastic tokens than real figurines, as we can find in Zombicide or Cthulhu Death Melee, for example. Starting from that, there is no point in wasting time to obtain a very precise and detailed result, as we can see it here on this Imperial Guard. So I took 2 different types of figurines, a purple and a green, and we are going to see 2 painting methods, and therefore have 2 different results. I invite you to leave me a comment and tell me which one you prefer. First try, you will choose the Quick Shade Strong Tone from the Army Painter, and we will just soak the figurine inside the pot and let it dry to see the final result. As it's a period game, we are going to take the plunge test. Yep, it came out alive. Yes. Remember to check well the figurine and let it dry at least 24 hours to obtain the final result. This product is dangerous to use. Remember to use it in a well-ventilated place. If possible, put on gloves, and above all, make sure to close well the pot. And of course, don't forget to soak the legs and base. For the second test, we first undercoat the mini using a white spray, the Red Brown from Citadel. Next we'll use a mix of colors from Contrasted from Citadel, a mix of green warp lighting, plus a medium contrast at equal parts. We'll use a large brush and put a lot of paint on the brush. Avoid going twice in the same place. There is about 2 minutes per mini. And don't forget to paint the base. For the other Pariat mini, we'll use a mix of purple and medium contrast at equal parts. Here is the final result. On the left we have the original version. Here. In the center, the one in the Quick Shade Strong Tone. On the right, the Citadel Contrast Green Warp Lighting. Tell me in comments which version you prefer. I find that the one in the center is too bright and I prefer the one on the right. In the same way, with the purple copy, we have the original version on the left. In the center, the hardened version, so we can see that it's very shiny and the base is not beautiful. And on the right, my favorite version, using the contrast range from Citadel. Here on folder site, we can find specific form tray for Rum and Bones board games. You can put all the mini in two form. Look at this. You have only a few lots of 8 on the box. Next, we can find the rulebook. Of course, you can find all the links in the comments of the video. You can take a look at the Board Game Geek review. They scored the game 7 points, which is an average score. It exists the face group Rum and Bones group, so you can find painting samples. This group is also made for the Rum and Bones Second Tide, launched 2 years later. Finally, you can find on Miniature Market a lot of extra content, like extra dice or extension to the main game. We saw the opening and presentation of the box contents, the customization options. Now let's see the setting up and the rules of the games. Setting up the game. First step, choose your faction and your bot. You can choose the Wellsport Brotherhood or the Bond of Isles bot. Then you have to choose your heroes among 10 possible. Notice that we have 2 copies of each color, 2 yellow, green, orange, grey and purple. Each hero has a specific role, so we can find Captain, Swordsman, Quartermaster, Gunner, Brute. Each hero must choose 1 hero from these 5 roles. For example, the first player will choose these 5 heroes. And so the other player will play the other 5. Then we will arrange the colored bases under the 5 heroes. So we get 5 here and 4 plus 1 here. Notice that we have 2 sides of base, one bigger. Then each player will come and take the cards corresponding to the heroes. So we get the Captain, here the Gunner, we get the Swordsman, the Quartermaster, and the Brute. Then we take the 24 basic pirate figurines and we put them near our boat, like that. The other player do the same with the purple one. We get 2 kinds of pirates, the sailor and the quartermaster. The sailor have a square base, while the quartermaster have a round one. So each player have 6 big and 24 little. Then we have the decks of cards Destiny. There is 1 deck per faction, 30 cards per deck. Then you have to turn the boats to put them against each other. We will arrange the tiles on the boat in the corresponding place. The rudder that comes here. The ropes are put here. We put the cannon at the back of the boat. The main mast comes to the center. And finally, the holy bird at the bow of the ship here. Then we do the same with the other boat. Each player will place 4 pirates on the following areas: the ropes, the mainmast, and the rudder. The setup of the game is finished, we can now start the game. Once the setup is done, we will see the stages of a game turn. A turn takes place in 8 stages. First stage, preparation of the hero. First step, put each hero on his own card and place 1 coin on each card. 1 coin per hero. 1, 2, 3, 4 and 5 coins. Step number 2, we will be able to shoot with the bridge cannon. The cannon can fire on any square except objective squares. It can also destroy sea creatures. We will see that later. Stage number 3, deployment of the crew. We will add 2 sailors on each starting point. Then we will deploy 2 quartermaster, 2 only, but we can put them on any starting points. For example, here and here. Step number 4, activation of the crew. So first, each pirate attacks. There are no enemies to attack, so let's move on the next step. Moving. All pirates advance 1 square in a straight line towards the enemy. Following phase, activation of heroes, a player can only activate 3. Each hero can perform 3 actions. Do an attack, beware sometimes this action will require paying. To carry out an attack, for example, we will place our hero here. We are going to do the attack at the top of the card. Its activation cost is 0. We'll roll 4 dice and hit on 4+, with a range of 1. So I roll 4 dice, I get 2 4+, so I kill 2 pirates. You can also use a special ability. A hero can move 2 squares, and never diagonally, and never in a square that contains enemies. There is another fast moving action that allows you to switch from one boat to another. It's a real pirate movie action. For this, the hero can move in every area of the boat, but which is not occupied area or starting area. So you can move here or here, for example. To make the jump, we will count the number of squares and we will do a test by throwing a dice. For example, here a test of 3 squares. So we roll a dice and the result must be greater or equal. Here it's a failure. In this case, the hero has gone overboard. The hero has gone overboard, so we just lay the figurine and we remove the coin on the card. If I have obtained 5, I will have succeeded, and therefore I could have put my figurine here. The next step is to solve the arrival or not of the Kraken. For that, we will look at the Destiny card. Each faction has 30 cards, and at the end of the first round, we will come and draw 3 cards. We start with 0. This card can be played at any time by reading the effect on the cards. As we can see, on some cards, here, there is a Kraken symbol. When we play a card, we put it face up here. To know if the Kraken comes, the active player will roll 2 dice. If the result is lower than the Kraken symbol reserve of the 2 players, the Kraken comes. Here I roll 7, I got 2 symbols, the other player gets 0, so 7 is higher than 2, the Kraken is not coming. If the Kraken comes, we take its tiles, we remove a bridge and we put the tiles like this between the 2 boats. The capacities of the Kraken are indicated on its card. It's a common enemy to both players. The effect of the Kraken will be different depending on the result of the dice. Once we are done with the Kraken, we will draw until we have 3 cards in hands. We cannot have more than 3 cards in hands. At the end of the turn, if you have any cards left, you can discard it to draw new ones. The objectives of the game is to reach 6 points. For that, we'll be able, for example, to destroy objectives on the opposing boat. For example, you have to make 8 wounds to destroy the ropes, and it will give us 2 victory points. And at the back, we'll gain a special ability and 2 coins. Once we destroy it, we place the tile toward us to remember. You can also destroy monsters, for example here the Kraken, which will bring us 2 victory points and 4 coins, or the Sea Dragon, 2 victory points and 2 coins. And that's it for today. This video is finished. Thanks for watching it. See you soon for new adventures, and we leave with the official Kickstarter presentation of the game by cmon.
Whosoever can claim it all will claim the forbidden power of Davy Jones' locker itself. Run out the guns and prepare to board. Accept no quarter, for there's none to give. Rum and Bones is the new miniatures-based board game from Cool Mini or Not, where players control their own pirate crews, battling for Davy Jones' treasure. Inspired by highly popular MOBA-style video games such as League of Legends and Defense of the Ancients, Rum and Bones gameplay is deep, fast-paced, and highly strategic. Games begin with ships locked in boarding combat. Deckhands and bosuns charge across the gangplanks to attack deck features on the enemy ship, but crews are evenly matched, and it's up to the officers and heroes to break the stalemate. Each crew boasts heroes fitting 5 roles: captain, quartermaster, gunner, swashbuckler, and brute. Each with their own strengths and weaknesses. Captains possess a wide variety of abilities based on faction strengths. They're highly versatile characters who will always have something up their sleeve. Quartermasters focus on making their crews fight better. They possess powerful buffs and abilities designed to coax the best out of your heroes and crew. Gunners wield powerful anti-personnel attacks and can target enemy heroes in the swirling melee across decks. Swashbucklers are unequaled melee combatants. They can take down even the toughest enemies in seconds. Brutes soak damage like no one else, and their abilities often get more dangerous the more damage they take. No two heroes play alike. While their role determines a hero's general place in the fight, each one has its own unique abilities and attacks. Players choose their faction and build their crews from faction-specific rosters and a variety of mercenary pirates, some of which will only be available through the Rum and Bones Kickstarter. In addition, players have access to unique powers via the Tide deck. These startling abilities can sweep enemies overboard, give your heroes the extra kick they need in a pinch, or even summon a powerful sea dragon to sow some extra chaos. But beware, using these abilities can summon the Kraken, that mythical terror from the depths in search of the missing Davy Jones. The Rum and Bones core box comes with 70 pirate miniatures, 2 shipboards, 72 cards, 12 objective tiles, and several other tokens. Storm the seas with Rum and Bones.